Okay, dream a little dream. We're living in a dream, as many have said to me. Not directly, of course, because I don't, interact with real people, but on the computer, the World Wide Web, which is like a web, really, for the human mind. But I don't know why. Perhaps we'll find something. Perhaps not. More than likely, not.
If you can make your mind up, we'll never get started. And I don't wanna wind up being parted, broken hearted.
Of course, I'm playing in the delusion of the dream fantasy matrix. When I listen to a replay of my own emotions,
But if you don't, dear, confess, and please don't tell me. Perhaps. But if you don't, dear, confess, and please don't tell me. Perhaps.
The videos are just coming up, so reversal. Unbelievable reversals taking place. But of course it's reversal, but it's also the same. It's a reverse world, but it's also the same. But these are very excellent personas of the demigod's duality, reversal, but ultimately the same image. I don't know. That just came up, so I put it on there, and I'm muddling up. I know, I'm sorry about the muddled up business, but you know, that's just how it is when you're playing in a mind control matrix and trying to be plausible when nothing really is plausible in many ways, because even the demigods are playing the human mind, and they are representing the unbalance. What they see is balance is really only balance at a technical level, but it's not like balance at a real spiritual human level. No, that's the difference, but that's very hard to actually prove. And I'm just making a few little silly points about the about the the actual physical differences, to where you can see the differences between the demigods and real life. That's if you actually see any real life, which you probably won't. You probably won't. Can I get some videos up here? Probably not. Where I can show something. Probably not. I'm just muddling it all up, aren't I? I'm just muddling it all up here. Okay, we might just... Okay, we might just... I'll just come up, so I'll try to use this one as an example of how the demigods, larger than life personas, or even in the entertainment world stage, past, present and future, makes no difference. They change continuously, naturally, depending on who they're trying to entice into their mind control internet web, just try to, the larger than life see the larger than life head, but the smaller the comparatively smaller mm, not making the point very well. I think I have to stop the video because I cannot concentrate well enough. Can't concentrate enough to show the comparison. But I can't do it. But, you know, the actual proportions, impressive as they may be, are not like, you know, an original, natural, productive human body. It's all artificial, you know. And this just depends on, you know, how you look at things. So, in other words, you know, it's like when, you know, even if a human being interacts with the demigods, it may seem like a benefit to some, and it will depend on what your beliefs are, what you think is what you're meant to be, and what you think is better for you. You know, so. And I don't know what I'm talking about or saying here, to be fair. And to be fair in a matrix is to allow seduction and possible possession even to take place, only in the sense that you can have possession of your mind, because then you will be limiting yourself, you see, when you allow other to influence you, and you adopt different ideas, say, to what you normally would, to where you're going into a lower vibration, therefore more into a dead dark world where you know, there is not understanding of any real life, you know. I'm not explaining this properly. You can't look me in the eye. They don't know. that's an interesting thing to see. Do we want the right things? Do we know what we want? Are we wanting something that is going to raise our frequency and vibration, in other words, make us happy? Or are we going to choose the dead dark beings and go into the lower frequencies and vibrations and settle and think that it is okay to be unhappy or in a continual state of confusion and dismay, wondering what is going really on. But, you know, in that fantasy, excitement, reality that they drag you into, because your emotions are up and down all the time. As a human being, you will always be striving to be happy. So, but then they will drag you into the pits of despair. Then you'll try to drag yourself up, and you will fluctuate. So you will never really be stable. And so your mind will not be clear on what the reality is. That is another mind game of the Matrix demigods and its servants. And you know, the actual personalities even that are presented by the demigods, they are very contrived. They are very much trying to draw in an audience with the duality, human emotions. So they're selling a product, themselves, their beliefs, their ideas, their representation of their technical God that they believe in, worship, and are a disciple of. But they're really a relative. So it's kind of like, of course, they're going to be a disciple because you will naturally stick for your relatives usually, you know. So it's the whole thing is a necessary game for them to play against real life, because it serves not just their God and themselves, because they are servants, relatives of that God. And, you know, because I don't fully understand the actual kind of hierarchy, shall we say, I don't, you know, I can't really distinguish, because, you know, if I'm not privy to that, which naturally I'm not, you know, I don't personally interact with demigods or those in certain industries in this earth matrix. I only, you know, everything, you know, I don't personally interact with the demigods, you know. They visually seduce me from a screen, you know. And Whereas in reality, you think you're dealing with something more real, but it's the same deal. It's just that it may not be quite as glamorous. Because each person will be played at what their environment has been presented to them since they were, born, shall we say, I guess. And also it will depend on how accepting you are of this conversion reality, because like when I'm looking at the screen, I might relate to the demigods, which is only natural because they express your inner mind. And even your visual preferences, your mental fantasies, that sort of thing. But the thing is that, in reality, you will maybe not as fooled by that in reality, because you would see it as very obvious, or maybe you might not be able to deal with it in your real life. And I have lost track of what I'm actually trying to say, because I'm not able to talk fluently while I'm making a video, unfortunately, because I'm trying to make sense, and I gotta impress myself even by what I'm saying, and also I'm showing videos. I'm not keeping on one track. I'm throwing in bits of music. It's like my muddled up mind. But whereas the demigods, this is the same artist now, much years later. The audience is always covered in the demigods red colour, but this is the same artist, like say 40 years later or something. It's a lot easier to present yourself as more higher vibrational when you're young, because it's pretty and it's glossy, whereas it becomes a little harder and does show a little bit more the stark reality. But I'm just using the demigods as an example for it, that's all. But we all think that what is visual is also internal, and that's the game that's played against me. And but I don't know what this song is, so Well, that's just saying you go insane out of your mind. And remember, in this reverse world matrix, go insane out of your mind. They think insanity is sanity. They're reverse beings. And they want me to also think that way and live that way. Not making a good point here, so I better say good night while I still have the energy to even press, the knob on a mobile phone.